Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program, Science Mode 1.2. Just gonna move my mic a little bit out of the way so you don't hear me breathing. So in the last episode, I noticed a couple things. One, our rocket seemed a little harder to control, and realized that I've been pressing the wrong button for the SAS this entire time. I've been hitting R instead of T. Always look where you're typing. Number one. Number two, there was a bug which they fixed this morning where XP wasn't showing up. So I was thinking that for some reason our Kerbal, in this case Jebediah, was not gaining experience points for whatever reason. They finally fixed that issue. So now it shows that Jebediah is halfway into collecting his experience points that we were looking at getting. The other thing we were going to do, with this guy specifically, is we wanted to get into orbit. Well, at least try to get into orbit. With that in mind, I wanted to actually edit this guy a little bit before we launched it. Overall, we've got a good system of control, other than, well, this thing right here. I think that's what was mainly causing our big problems. This we don't need because we're not going to send anything. Overall, what we're going to just try to do in this case is just get into orbit, get some barometric data, and get some temperature data, and that's pretty much it. So with that in mind, I realized that I can change it so that you are number one and you are number one. They're going to change it later on so that when you select this, the options will show up to collect all, transfer all, or review. But right now that's missing. I'm looking forward to that because then that way you just hit a simple button. In this case, we hit 1, we collect our data, hit 2, transfer our data. I'm also going to put the swivel engine, because that is the swivel, right? Yep. Down a little further. I'm also going to put this engine in that stage. Actually, we're not going to put those in the same stage. The reason was because I've been playing on my own little personal game, and I've been looking at, you have to double tap the spacebar anyways. So if I have to have the engine separate, I have to have them separate. I could care less. But yeah, so that is, I'm hoping, our orbiter. Now, one of the things we're going to do, obviously with all this failing early on, we'll be gaining experience for Jebediah, so that later on, we can, well, get some additional options here. Like, point towards, prograde, retrograde, normal, anti-normal, all that stuff, so we can angle our rocket a lot better and more efficiently. Right now, all we have available now to us is stability assist. And stability assist only. Soon he'll be level 1, probably after this, I'm hoping. So we get stability assist on, and we're going to launch in 5. Those aren't clipped into the ground, are they? They are. That might cause a bit of rum. 3. Dose. Rocket is going to go down to 1/6. And 3, 2, 1. Basically, the swivel engine is going to be there to basically help us control things a little bit better. And hopefully, fingers crossed, things turn out just a little bit better. And I hit 1 to test it. Works perfectly fine. Right click. Crew report. Everything's good to go. So I'm already watching our fuel here is going down pretty quickly. I'm going to up to 1/3. No, I'm actually going to reduce, actually. Or just increase it. 1/15th? Something like that. It's basically just a little bit more than we had before. Not too much more. Just as these are about to run out, I'm cranking it to max and popping them off. Now, before, you may have noticed in my last episode, I kind of screwed up the gravity turn, which is exactly what happened. What I want to do is I want to wait till we get to about 20,000, or this thing gets up to, say, 70 or 80. I'm going to slowly start going over now, not too much. We're going to go just towards the 90, literally the 90, the 45 on the 90. And we're just going to hold it, try to hold it. We're still going to fight this thing just a little bit. There we go, 75,000. So now that we hit 40, we're going to try to angle over just a little bit more. because we want it to go still up a little tiny bit more. I wanted to hit 90,000. Perfect. Now we're going to go directly over the 90. I'm going to bring up this option. I'm going to cut our engines for the moment. As I say, this should be going down, which is no big deal. I'm going to crank this up. We're going to get some high altitude science. I'm going to aim us. I'm going to burn at exactly half of what this says. So it's at 1:30. So at 45 seconds, I'm going to start my burn. So that way I'm on the left side of our apogee here. So I can push the apogee out just a little bit so we don't have the same problem we had before where we burned up. I'm going to speed up. Or sorry, the burn time is 1 minute 14 seconds. So at 35, half of that's 10, 5, 7. So 37 seconds I'm going to burn. Because I want to burn at half of what this is, sorry. Now mind you, that may change, but no big deal. I'm just going to increase this a little bit. So at 35. Now. So that went up a little bit. So that's no big deal. This could push our apogee out just a little bit. Not too much. We're not too worried. The only thing I'm worried about is fuel, but we still have the next stage still. Should just be putting our apogee forward. There it goes. Okay. Now the time to apogee should not be going up too crazy, but it's actually going down, which is good. We want that high altitude science. We're going to do a quick little test. There we go. We're going to keep those experiments. Oh, we just burned out our thing there, so I'm going to do a quick crew report. Oh, we're good to go. We're going on to the next stage. Max speed. Here we go. So unfortunately, my screw up there, I wasn't paying attention. And I'm going to cut the engines in 3, 2, 1, boom. So we got an altitude of 254 and 92. Those of you who are OCD, I apologize. In the meantime, I'm going to check these. These are both temperature scan while in space near Kerbal. We're going to review near Kerbal and near Kerbal. Okay. So we're going to keep both of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait till we get all the way around here. We're going to do our next batch of science. And then we're going to try and land as close to the Kerbal Space Center as humanly possible. I didn't mute myself, right? Yeah, I'm still going. Okay. So I'm just going to speed up a little bit here. And actually, what I'm going to do as well is tell it over here. We're going to add a maneuver. So I want about 20,000, I think, over the Kerbal Space Center. Whoops, wrong way. Yeah, that should be good. Though we're going to enter the atmosphere over here, so I want to go... Oops. Like... Nope. God damn it. Real 30. 23. 16. 13. That should theoretically attempt to land us near the Kerbal Space Center. So we're going to go forward all the way to our apogee. No, that's apogee. That's perigee. Sorry, to our apogee. And we are at it now. So we're going to do our experiments. Keep. Crew report. Keep. And you're going to have it all. Perfect. All that. We got our next level up. So Jebediah, just so you guys know, as you can see now he's level 1. He will now actually level up as we go. There's not going to be any having to wait for them to do it. My theory is that they've learned something while they're doing something, like you or I would. It's only fair. It's realistic. Our electrical charge is pretty good so far. Okay. We'll do a little cheat. We're going to fast forward. This actually holds the rocket in place. Just we're going to burn for 1 second. I doubt that. So what I'm going to do... I'm not too worried about burning right there, because the whole plan is to get 13 kilometers roughly in around that spot around the Kerbal Space Center anyways. I like the new comm network. Very, very much like that. One of the options as well they recently added, I don't know if it was in here before, I may have missed it, is the fact that you can now, your Kerbals can actually pass out. So your Kerbal, theoretically, can actually become unconscious. So that's very interesting. I actually am very, very looking forward to having our first Kerbal pass out on re-entry from, from one reason or another. So I'm going to burn at about 15 seconds. I'm actually going to burn now real quick. 5 seconds. Okay. So we're going to burn at about 2. 2 seconds is where we're going to burn. So we're just going to up the speed a little bit here. 4, 3, 2. And stop. Burn again real quick. We're at 4,000. It's a little too much. I'm going to try and go to prograde real quick and just burn a little tiny bit up. And that's good. I'm going to hope that this is going to get us home. And by home, I mean literally home. And we're burning towards prograde now. If we're going too fast, we're going to probably land in the water. If we're going too slow, we'll land in the mountains and stuff like that. So, either way, we're coming down. It's just a matter of where at this point. So we're going to... Ooh. Double check my staging. I almost popped this. Oh, we're missing... Ooh, this may actually be something... It's a good thing I did this. Collect all. It's already stored, okay. Review, throw away. Review, throw you away. Crew report, reset. Perfect. All right, we're gonna pop. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fast forward until we hit the atmosphere. Now we are going to be landing at night probably, or at least around, what, dusk? Dusk or dawn? So we'll have to see. I did this test earlier, and I actually landed around here somewhere. And I put 13,000 kilometers right over the Space Center. So we'll see how this turns out. We're going to do real-time landing. No fast forwarding or anything like that. I can already see our heat shield is already starting to heat up. We're starting to enter the atmosphere. I can't remember what the heat effects button is. I think it's F10, but that also turns off my recording. You can see it definitely heating up. Which is good, because if it's heating up, then we're not. We're good to go here. Come on. 7,000. We're still just skimming across the atmosphere. We're about to hit that threshold where we should start seeing heat effects. There they are. Now is where we're going to be slowing down a ton. Our apogee is moving forward, though. We're going to be a little north of the... Nope, we're not going to make it. We're going to land in the ocean over here. Well, it was worth a try. It was worth a try. Where are we going to land? Where are we going to land? So next time we just got to burn sooner. Or, sorry, later. which is no big deal. Let's look at these effects, shall we? Look, Ma, it's the planet. Oh. There we go. Oh, something's heating up. What's heating up? The barometer. Okay, that's no big deal. I'm not too worried about that. If it burns off, it burns off. That's no problem whatsoever. It is getting really hot, though. I'm hoping that even if it pops, it's not going to damage the capsule in any fashion or form. In the future, the plan is going to be to attach a AI module to this and a heat shield, and that's going to be our return vessel for everything. So we don't have to spend as much energy sending things back to Kerbal. We just put all our science in something like this, transfer it real quick, and then get going. We're slowing down quite a bit now. So we're close. We're about half... Well, yeah, we're pretty far, actually, from where we wanted to be. So, mental note. We weren't going fast enough. I thought we were going really fast because of how high we went altitude-wise, but... It takes time. It takes time to get your aim right. We have many episodes in the future ahead, which I'm hoping. I'm hoping as well that we're going to have enough parachutiness. I just realized I may not have enough parachutes on this thing. Boom. Let's see. Deploy now. I'm a little nervous about re-entry every time, no matter how long I've been playing this game for. I always get nervous around re-entry. It's one of these things where it's take off, no big deal. If I screw up, I screw up. We literally just started. Mid-orbit, I screw up somewhere and someone gets stuck in orbit, no big deal, I can go get them. But re-entry, it's always, I've done really well, I've done this, I've done A, B, and C, I've done all the plans for the mission, I've done everything I want to do, I've done every step I need to do. Now can I get them home? Not really so much the, the Kerbal, but the actual, the science and all the important stuff. I always get nervous. We're sitting at 180 meters a second. $160. We're slowing down. We're at 1,000 meters. Oh, shiza. 18, 12, 10, 9, 7, 6. Ooh. Oh my god, I got so scared there for a second. I think we went from 160 meters a second down to 6 meters a second in under 150 meters. The G-force meter here, I went up to here. So we went to 1, 2, 3, 4. We went up to 5 Gs. Awesome. That is awesome and scary at the same time. 20 meters. And we have landed. So now before we do anything, I'm going to take some more tests here. We're going to keep those. I'm also going to do an EVA and a surface sample. I'm going to keep that and get rid of that. I'm going to board again. You are going to collect everything. And we'll cover the vessel. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a successful high-altitude science gathering mission. We could have stayed in orbit if we wanted to, but we gained 76.3 science, which is really, really good. Jebediah went up a level to level 1, which is really good. And we get to spend more science. One of the things I really want to get, obviously, is electronics. Multiple reasons. One, we got the, well, they call it the photovoltaic panels, but they're solar panels. Thermal. We also can get ourselves some thermal stuff. It's 90 and we're at 115. Or we can go to advanced rocketry and push ourselves further and faster. don't know which one to do. We can do aviation. And Birdlo sets up a little science probe to go around the Space Center and build some stuff. General construction's really good later on when we want to get a rover going. The reason why is because of not what it has, but what it unlocks later on. So it unlocks the advanced construction and aerodynamics, and specifically actuators, because we can get the the grabbing unit and stuff. Yeah, fuel systems, propulsion, all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut in here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you already haven't. And if you have an idea as to what I should research, pretty much everything here in gray is researchable. We can pretty much pick one of these or one of these. It's pretty much one or the other. We don't have enough to do two of them. I'm contemplating electronics because that gives us the probe core, and we can launch a probe to the moon. Though the problem here is we don't have a relay network yet, so we'll be testing out the comm network, which I think is one of the things we might want to do, is just test out the comm network and see how it reacts and how it works. Yeah, throw a battery on it, throw a probe launcher on it, or thing on there, throw a probe antenna on there and launch that sucker and see how it goes. So we might actually go with electronics just so we can test out the probes. But until next time, see you guys then. Bye-bye.